Morning, gang. It's Thursday the 6th of August 2020. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom Talk, coming to you from the Chapel Hill Marina here in Lincolnshire. My voice has dropped. This started yesterday, didn't it? Well, I kept clearing my voice, my throat. My voice has dropped another octave, as you can hear. I do hope it doesn't spoil the pleasure of my dulcet tones this morning. It just seems to be going down and down and down, dear. Down, 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 ba 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 ba. Anyone remember that? Little dance hit from the 1990s. Very good indeed. I had a lovely chat to my neighbours yesterday after the show. I thought I'd go out for a walk, which turned into a mega walk, actually. I walked all the way from the caravan site, the Lincolnshire Television Studio Complex, over a little bridge and all the way down to Tattershall Bridge. I say Tattershall. It is a double L at the end and not an R. It's very easy to put an R on the end. Tattershall. No, it's Tattershall. Tattershall, double L. A little bit, it could almost be in Wales, couldn't it? Everything in Wales has two L's in it. Have you noticed that? Everything you buy in Wales or go to, everyone's names, they've got two L's at the end. What's all that about? And they go, Llanelin. Llanelin. Our Welsh friend Gary Owen is, of course, Gary's British talk show. He's from Wales. We'll have to ask him, why is there two L's on the end of every word in Wales? Very strange and mysterious, isn't it? So I had a lovely chat to my neighbours yesterday, and we were talking about, various things that are different in the world. And one of the subjects that came out was some bloke on the BBC has now decided, or is thinking about changing the songs on last night of the proms. I mean, so that we don't have Land of Hope and Glory and Rule Britannia, because it doesn't quite fit in with what they do anymore. I thought, here we go. That's the last thing to go, isn't it? Last night of the proms. They start mucking around with that. That's it, mate. That's it. We must stand firm and demand that we continue to sing Land of Hope and Glory, Master of the Sea. You see how low my voice is today? God, I don't even sound camp. How disappointing is that? People are here for a bit of campness, I know that. It's so deep this morning. La da 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 da. Listen how deep I can go. I can't go any higher anymore. Just deep, not high, not deep. I might not even be able to do my seagull noises today. Let's just try one. Ah ah ah. Seagull with a bad throat. Ah ah. Talking to seagulls, I was on the Static Caravan Facebook group this morning, having a little look around there, and some poor lady, she wants to know, she's got a neighbour who keeps feeding the seagulls, and she said when she chucks all the bread down on the floor, all the seagulls land on her roof. And and let me tell you, one bird on the roof going along like that is noisy. You imagine 40 of them sitting on the roof trying to get those bits of bread. Mustn't feed the sea. In fact, they become aggressive seagulls. And she doesn't know how to approach the subject. Should she just say to the lady, I'm so sorry to trouble you, but do you mind not feeding the seagulls? Can you not feed the seagulls? Because they're landing on my roof. I don't know what I'd do. I'd feel a bit funny about that as well. Asking someone not to do something that they're doing that upset me, really. I wouldn't want to do anything here that affected someone else's quality of life, like loud music, feeding seagulls, fixing cars outside your caravan. Actually, no one does that here. You imagine that? You know how it is I've got it down at the house, although it's not a problem, to be honest. We've got loads of, a selection of garages, not outside the houses. What do you call it? A block of garages. One block that side, one block that side. And there's a bloke, but he's at the end, and he fixes cars. But it's not too much of a problem. Might be a bit different on a caravan site, mightn't it? You see all these people turning up at someone's caravan to have their car serviced. Or like the seagulls being fed. In fact, there's a couple of stories in the newspapers this morning. One here, animal type stories, and this woman talking about pigeons. My nephew is a big fan of pigeons. I don't know why. Maybe it's the way that there's one here. There's one here, and he sits. There's a lamp post just to the right of my caravan at the back. And this pigeon sits on there, and it makes that noise. Like that. And I noticed, I was watching him do it. I was watching, and they do it until you start watching them. Then they stop for some reason. They go like that, don't they? And I watched him before he saw me looking, and his little chest sort of moves when he's doing that noise. Has anyone noticed, does my chest when I do that? No, let's do that. Is my chest moving? I don't know. Is that could be an extra aspect of the show that we do every morning? Pigeon noises. Something like that. Well, this woman's been says you shouldn't feed pigeons. It says in the Daily Mail this morning, giving pigeons in the park bread could make them more aggressive. Well, it'll end up like that film, The Birds. Pigeons will be coming down and pecking people's eyes out. Oh, what an awful way to lose your eyes, dear. Oh, my God. Pecked out of your head. You ever seen a seagull eating a live pigeon? That's not pleasant. That's not nice, is it? According to a new study, heavier birds were the most dominant. Yeah, watch out for the fat ones. You don't want them one lands on this roof, it'll probably go straight through the thing. I'm almost through the floor in the hallway here. I'm sure that's getting worse. A team from the University of London, they've looked into this. They don't want to do maths or English or science or technology. No, they're looking at pigeons. What are we paying these people for? A team from the University of London examined dominance in pigeon society. Did you know there was such a thing as pigeon society? I bet you didn't. And looked at which had better access to resources such as food and mates. Yes, pigeons have mates. The pigeons probably have more mates than some of you watching this show today. No names mentioned. Absolutely not. It's possible that the added mass, the fat pigeons, made them feel in better psychological condition and more willing, therefore, to pick a fight, according to the research team. I can't believe that. Fat pigeons picking a fight. Well, they can't fly as fast if they want to run out of the way, can they? How can you feel good about yourself if you're a bit more overweight than you were? I don't feel good about myself, especially when I look in that mirror when I sit on the bed. That's the worst. The worst pose is if you've got a mirror, and I've got a mirror next door in the bedroom there. It's right there, and I sit on the edge of the bed, to carefully remove my clothes or put socks on or something like that. And if I've got nothing on the top, that's when you see it all sinking, and that is the look of Buddha. I am now the human equivalent of Buddha. Terrible, really. Awful. What can you do? It says it leads to some individuals. Many animals live and travel in groups, giving them enhanced vigilance and predator detection. But individual personality characteristics can lead to conflict. This leads to some individuals within a group coming out as dominants and has been seen throughout the animal kingdom, the team explained. Yeah, don't feed the pigeons. Fat ones. It says before the extra weights were added, they put artificial weights on them, right? Before the extra weights were added to the dominance, hierarchy among the birds was stable, but this changed dramatically at the next measuring season. So those with extra mass, i.e. fat, became noticeably more dominant and became more aggressive, increasing their rank in the group. Well, that explains it then, doesn't it? When you're in the supermarket and all that, and you get some great big fat thing, enormous thing, with a trolley, and they're pushing it, and everyone's getting pushed out of the way. That and prams. Oh, not the prams. I got a buggy, and? Get out of the way, I got a buggy. Oh, dear. It said, I could be one of those people. I reckon I could be one of those people pushing around that trolley, just bashing into people as I go round and get another multi-pack of Walker's cheese and onion crisps. Yes, please. It was the male birds that became the most aggressive when they got bigger. Oh, that's the same as going in pubs. The fat middle-aged blokes. So aggressive. Especially when the football's on. Oh, ref. Oh, ref. He didn't see that one. He didn't see that one, did he, Joe? No, he didn't see that one. What an effing idiot he is. Oh, go on, get off, ref. Oh, please do me a favour, boys. It's not doing you any favours being like that. It was the male birds that became... I will be able to be one of those people, I know it. It will be the male birds that became the most aggressive as they got bigger, with one becoming up to 750% more aggressive, according to researchers. There you go. So it's not good to feed birds bread. Please stop feeding the pigeons. And the seagulls, that poor old cow. She's on some caravan site somewhere and feeding... affected by someone else feeding the pigeons. Poor little seagulls. They're aggressive seagulls. The beaks. They'd have your eye out like that. I'm telling you that now. Be aware. Be very aware. I don't know how we got into the subject of that. But anyway, yeah, I went out for a walk yesterday after the show. Ended up 2 hours all the way down to Tattershall Bridge and back. And get this, right? You know I said I had a minor DIY success on Tuesday when I repaired my bike. The new tyre went on, fantastic, pumped it all up. Unfortunately, when I put the nut back on the wheel, got it so tight, and it wasn't actually tight, it was tight, but not tight. One more little thing, and the thing starts spinning on the spindle, didn't it? Oh dear. Nut's gone. I thought the nut had gone. Anyway, my brother-in-law and nephew came over. I told him I needed a nut, and he bought a nut over with, I think he called it a nylon nut. It's metal, but it's got something else in it to stop it opening up. So they put that on, and that seems to be okay. Right? And he also advised me to get another nut to put on, as well as that nut on there to hold that one in place if it moves. Okay? So blow me down. I'm going for my walk all the way to Tattershall Bridge, which is about an hour. And I started coming back again, and after about half hour, I just happened to look. You couldn't make this up. There's like a road which is quite narrow, difficult to get past sometimes. Then there's a bit of grass, and then there's a bank, and then there's the river on the left. It's a lovely walk. It's a beautiful walk. The only thing is, if the sun's out, there is no shelter from the sun. Okay? Now, down in Bracknell, when I go through the forest, if it gets a bit hot, you just dart into the trees and you've got shelter from the sun. Once you're on that walk, that's it. The hour there and the hour back, no shade from the trees at all. So I'm getting a bit hot here. And I'm walking on the grass bit next to the road. Occasional car coming up. Now, some of them go a bit fast down that road. It's a quiet road, but they can go down there at 60 mile an hour. I don't. Yeah, I'd be frightened if I was to bounce off a small stone or something like that. The car would bounce up and I'd end up in the river drowned. Not that you'd miss me. No one would miss me. No one cares. No one would miss me. And I'm walking along and I happen to look down. What do you think's on the floor in front of me? Only a bicycle nut. I thought, how weird is that? I don't think I've ever in my life found a bicycle nut on the floor. Certainly not in the bit of grass, because that's been quite well hidden. I'm just walking along and I look down. There's a blooming nut in front of me on the floor. Isn't that weird? It's all very... Oh, hang on, we'll have to get a bit of music for this. It's all very strange and mysterious. Isn't it? I wasn't looking for a nut in particular. It wasn't even in my head. I wasn't thinking about bikes. It was like it was meant to happen. Someone from up above, possibly someone who's passed on to a new life, had placed that nut on the front, in front of me, to be noticed and picked up to keep little Chrissy boys safe. Perhaps it's one of my old viewers, who have now long gone to another world and want me to carry on entertaining the millions of people all over the world that watch this every morning. I think that must be the case. Very, very strange and mysterious. Anyway, so I bent down and picked up the nut. I stayed down, bent over for a little while, see if there's any lads around. Unfortunately, there weren't, so I got back up then. And I carried on walking. carried on walking and got back to the caravan about half an hour later. So a 2-hour walk. I'm pleased to tell you I did 10,300 steps or 4.7 miles. Thank you very much, Chris Reardon. Thank you very much. Isn't that weird though? So I got back here, had some lunch, and I got the bike out. And the nut, it went on, but unfortunately the amount of spindle available isn't very much, and it didn't really stay on. It didn't really stay on, but nevertheless, it was there, and I just found that really odd how I would find something like that. Never mind. And then last night I went round to Gary's house. I popped into the Sainsbury's on the way there because they wanted some strawberry jam for the children. And the Sainsbury's is in Woodall Spa. It's one of those. It's one of the larger Sainsbury's locals, if you see what I mean. You know, quite a large one. But there's never anyone in there at 6 o'clock at night. About 5 past 6, something like that. I got there. There's about 3 people in the entire shop. So I got some strawberry jam in there. They're very good in there. I noticed everywhere I'm walking round, someone is cleaning with the antivirus stuff. Always. Every time I go there, that on all the tills are being cleaned down and all that with that antiviral stuff. So impressed with that. And I got them some strawberry jam and a few more bits and pieces. Then I went round to my nephew's to take his little light. I've got a new light myself now, which is a bit bigger than his one. Do you want to see this? Quite big, actually, this. Now, this... If you're interested in buying something like this, I don't know, you don't need to be doing video shows or anything like that. This is quite big. This is what's in front of me now. All right, hang on. There you go. That's what's in front of me now, okay? And if you look carefully, you can see the camera in the middle of it. That's what's in front of me now, okay? And I think that's made a huge difference. The one Gary had was a very small one behind me. And actually, I'll be honest with you, I don't think there's any difference in luminance in the both of them, really. I mean, I could have just ordered one of the small ones. But this one there that I just showed you, Amazon, 14 quid. Oh, you can't go wrong, can you? That's all it was, 14 quid. And it's dimmable. I can change the dim. There's a sort of yellow or white. This is on white. The yellow looks a little bit... Or you can do a combination of both. But 14 quid off Amazon. Brilliant. I might get one as well from the Bracknell Television Studio Complex as well. So I went round there to take his light round there. And also Martin left some tools around here when he was putting up the 4G aerial the other day. And then me and great niece Evie and great nephew Harry, I had small bars of chocolate for them. Little Freddos. I think I've been taking around too much chocolate. I mean, literally bags of the stuff. And yesterday I sent them a box of chocolates. This time I bought them Freddos. Now, don't tell them, don't tell the kids, but I'm going to have to whisper this in case they're listening. Right? I bought a multi-pack of Freddos. 6 in the packet. And they're in my fridge now. And I just take out 2, 1 each. And they're small. So that's all right. You know, it's not going to affect their weight or anything, something like that. So I had these 2 chocolates. And I'm holding up. Right, you've got to do something for these. I want you to make with me a TikTok video. And you know what one I got them to do, don't you? Da, 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 da. So the 2 children are standing in front of me. Nearer to the camera because they are the stars. I'm just there to help it along. 2 is standing there in front of me and I'm standing at the back, and we did this video. 1 take, all done. Right? After which they got their chocolates, but it was hard getting Harry to do it. Can I have the chocolate before I do the video? No, you can't. No, you can't, because you won't do the video. He's crafty, he is, Harry. It's only 7. Can I have the chocolate before I do the video? I don't think so. And it took about 20 minutes to get him to do the video. Evie was up for it. And we did that. And we uploaded it to TikTok. And I tried to share it and said, this has not been shared. You have broken our community guidelines. Now, we've spoken about this so many times with technology companies where there isn't actually anyone to talk to. Right? So I thought, well, why is that? And I played it back, and I played it to my nephew's wife. There's the 2 children at the front and me dancing. We're fully clothed. There's no sort of rudeness or anything going on there. All it is ja, 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 ja. The piece of music is accepted on TikTok. I think they've got some sort of copyright agreement with various different... You can't just use any tune. If it's on TikTok, then it's usually been cleared. So we've got that music, nothing else on there. And I'm thinking, why has this broken their community guidelines? There's loads of people doing this thing, including children. So I then appealed that, because you can appeal it. And about 5 minutes later, your appeal has been rejected. The video has been removed. What? And you see, when you get to that point, that's it. There's no more comeback after that. And that's the annoying thing with technology companies. There's no one to talk to. Or they don't want to talk to you. They make a decision. That's it. They are judge and jury. So annoying. Anyway, so we did another video, which was, you know those little gadgets? It's like perpetual motion, but it never is. And it's like, I think it's 1, 2, 3. There's either 5 or 6 balls hanging down, and you pick one up and you let it go, and it goes, and all the others go, and eventually it stops. So we did another video with that, uploaded that. That went fine. I was totally and utterly bemused why the other one was rejected. Anyway, a little bit later on into the evening, I came back here and I'm in bed. I thought, and I was looking at my phone, which you shouldn't do when you go to bed because it stops you sleeping. I'm looking at the phone and looking at my pictures, and somehow perhaps it does it automatically, I'd saved that particular TikTok video to my phone, right? So I thought, well, I know I can upload videos to TikTok that are already on your phone. So I re-uploaded it again. Re-uploaded it. I thought, let's see what happens. And it went on. It went through. So work that one out. And it doesn't make sense at all, does it? Doesn't make sense at all, but it's up there now. And if you want to have a little look at that, that's on my Facebook wall. Facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK is that one, isn't it? All right. It's funny, that old Sainsbury's, you know, you go in there 6 o'clock at night, no one in there. It's a different world, Lincolnshire, you know, to London or the cities, anywhere like that. Certainly the Tesco's in King's Cross, which is next to Central Station where I do the karaoke. That you go in there at, I don't know, I think it closes at 10 o'clock at night, and it's always busy in there. People milling around, getting their little bits and pieces, you know, last, and some very dodgy looking people in there as well, usually outside. Very sad, really. You've got the beggars outside, and they sit outside the shop and collar everyone as they go out for money and things like that. But it's one of those things, you know, one of those things. All right, so that was my day yesterday, boys and girls. We're in for some very, very hot weather once again. The Daily Star reports we are now getting close to a 40-degree day. We often see these in other countries. Certainly, I believe Cyprus, where my niece is staying at the moment. Those of you that have visited places in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, where's that place everyone goes? Dubai, places like that. I'm sure you've seen 40-degree heats. I don't think I've ever been in a 40-degree heat. I might have done in Sydney, but then again, it might have just been the sun on me. But I would be uncomfortable. Now, I often say to you, I do like hot weather, and it's all right, yeah. But what I like about hot weather is the fact that I've got air conditioning. And I love coming out of the heat and going in to a cool room. That really is beautiful. Beautiful. But in the Daily Star this morning, it says forecasters believe there's a chance the current record could be smashed with a Saharan scorcher set to sizzle the nation when it strikes. Now, this is coming tomorrow. The UK is closing in on a landmark 40 degrees centigrade temperature as a 700-mile Saharan blowtorch. Yeah, that's a good way to get people out your way in the supermarket. Those buggies in the mothers with the buggies come towards you. Get your Saharan blowtorch out. Get out of my way. A 700-mile Saharan blowtorch will make Britain hotter than Egypt's. That's all right. We'll be able to build pyramids then, are they? Are they specifically built to keep coolness in? Pyramids? I don't know. The Met Office forecasters say it's only a matter of time now until 40 degrees centigrade is reached, with a scorchio 36 or 37 degrees high tomorrow. That's on Friday. Now, this is down south. I don't think it's going to be up here so much, up here in Lincolnshire, but certainly where my house is down south, that's the temperatures they're looking at on Friday. The weatherman admit there's a pharaoh chance, very clever. This is in the Daily Star. Pharaoh chance on Friday it could be even hotter, as computer models predicted last week to be 35 degrees centigrade, but it ended up being 37.8. So there's a chance you'll get to the 40 down south. All right. There's also a 10% chance of Friday beating the 38.7 UK record. The Weather Outlook said. So you might get that 40. Wow. Gosh, that's a little bit too much for me, 40. But as I say, I quite like to go inside and chill out in a nice cool room. I do enjoy doing that, I must admit. Let's just check that there. Oh, we've got the Super Chat raffle coming up today, boys and girls, okay? Those of you that have been sending Super Chats, all your tickets are in here. We'll be doing that very shortly today, gang. This week's Super Chat raffle is a hat. There we go. It's a hat. Super Chat raffle prize this week is a hat. Every time you send £1 at Super Chat, or a tip, whatever you want to call it, I'll give you a free raffle ticket and you'll go in for this morning's Super Chat raffle that will be happening before 10 o'clock, okay? And at 10 o'clock we got the bingo. I must stick to time today because my nephew's coming round later. We're going to visit my brother-in-law's sister's husband's house because he's built a little garden railway. Model railway in the garden, and I can't wait to see it. Very, very exciting. United Kingdom Talk cameras, of course, after requesting permission to film such an event, will be covering the event for you, and we'll be showing the video when I put it together. All right. Incidentally, no super chat raffle next week because I haven't got a prize up here basically, and I don't know what to do. I'm waiting for some new prizes to arrive. They may or may not arrive by the time I get back down to the house on sort of Saturday. Okay. If it's too hot for you here, though, you could always go to Mars if you want to. Anyone fancy a little trip to Mars? There's not a lot there, is there? There's no plants. I mean, I have a feeling to go to Mars would be one of those places that you don't really want to go to because there's nothing there, but you could then say to people, I've been to Mars. That's about it. I don't know. I mean, there's no atmosphere, nothing. You've got to wear spacesuits, haven't you? You can't take your hat off because there's no air. Anyway, a SpaceX... This is in the Sun this morning. A SpaceX rocket that will one day take astronauts to Mars has completed a test flight from its launch pad in Texas. Now, this bloke has got some ambitions. It's the old Elon Musk. Satellites everywhere, dear. So rich. Video posted to Twitter shows a prototype Starship spacecraft. Of course, I've got a Starship. That's how I get here. Yes, all the way from Bracknell in Berkshire to here in my Starship, the UK RAV4 Mark II. Starship takes flight, the official SpaceX Twitter account wrote on Wednesday. And Elon Musk, who's 49 now, previously said on Twitter that he hopes to send 1 million people to Mars in his lifetime using a 1,000-strong fleet of powerful rockets. Well, they'd use up all the oil, wouldn't they? Are these all oil and petrol-based? Mars is looking real, Musk tweeted after Wednesday's flight. Starship's production complex is based near the small town of Boca Chica in Texas. And it goes on. So this is what he wants to do. He plans to build a fleet of 1,000 starships. He calls them starships, and of course they are. They are, aren't they? He wants to build a fleet of 1,000 starships, rockets, over the next 10 years. He wants to send 3 flights to Mars per day. Wow. I mean, this man has got ambitions. And he's got a lot of money. Why shouldn't he? Unfortunately, that's what you need to get somewhere. You know, to move humanity onwards, you've got to have someone like Elon Musk, Richard Branson, to pour their money into these, one could almost say, harebrained schemes. But, you know, no one else can afford to do it. There are some people that would be out there saying, oh, why doesn't he send some of his billions of pounds to poor people who have got nothing to eat and all that? Well, that's all well and good, you know, and I understand that way of thinking. But if he did that, he wouldn't have the money to do this, would he, you see? Got to move humanity forward. Got to keep moving forward. Must never move backwards. So he wants to send 3 flights to Mars per day, carrying 100 passengers for flight, and he reckons it would take roughly 9 years to transport 1 million people to Mars. Don't say anything about bringing them back. Write your list. Start writing your list of people that you'd like to see go to Mars. He said, needs to be such that anyone can go if they want, with loans available for those that don't have money. Pay as you go. What if you run? Perhaps they take the payment as you're on your way. You know, you might get halfway there and run out of money. What happens then? He pushes the button, the trap door opens, and you get slung out into space, mate. I wonder what would the food be like on there? Would they have tea and coffee, chicken or beef? Some of the old British Airways staff that recently lost their jobs, perhaps they could get jobs on there. A little glass of champagne, sir. Well, they have different classes, you know, first class, business and economy. You imagine the economy people would be sitting in the wings with no windows, wouldn't they? Wow. I wonder what you see out the window. Well, I mean, you'd see the stars, wouldn't you? You'd see all the stars outside the window. That must be an amazing thing, I assume. Or would you just see just black? I certainly wouldn't go on the first few flights, would you? In case anything goes wrong. That's amazing, really, what he wants to know there. What he wants to do there. And I hope he's able to do it. I really hope he's able to do it. He comes across as a little bit mad, but often you need those sort of people to go on things like that, don't you? But you want clean teeth. Yes, no one's allowed on those rockets with ugly smelling, dirty teeth. You know, a little bit like the sort of people that come up to me with their karaoke requests often, dear. Dreadful. Please clean your teeth before you come up and talk to me. Can't bear Brad breath. Oh. Well, here's an idea for you. Oral-B have got the toothbrush to buy if money is no option. Oh yes, in this morning's Metro, Oral-B's new high-end toothbrush has had an impressive redesign, but is it worth the hefty price tag? Wait till you hear the price. Electric toothbrushes put people off for many reasons. Over powerful skull vibrations. I don't get that. How do you have that with an electric toothbrush? Well, you must be holding it wrong. Unless you actually got it on your... Huh? I have actually been told by my dentist, you know, not to use an electric toothbrush. I still do, because I'm literally brushing away my teeth. They never find anything sort of stuck on your teeth. You know, like some people, and we all know them, dear, people that don't brush their teeth. Oh, aren't they vile? Oh, the smell that comes out of their mouths. Oh, dear. Does anyone here not brush their teeth? I expect there's one or two of you, you know, put them in a glass of water at night, that sort of thing. And you don't really see that anymore, do you? You know, people with false... I don't really see anyone with false teeth. Not really. Not like sort of my mum and dad had false teeth and my nans. And I think in the 70s we all sort of learnt how to brush them properly, and toothpaste technology came along a long way and stopped us all our teeth falling out of our heads. I mean, look at some of those films sometimes and stuff like that when they're sort of period dramas, although period dramas, I mean, it's for telly, so they've all got good teeth, but actually in those days people had rotten teeth, didn't they? They were falling out their heads, little black stumps, not nice. A little bit like the people that used to be on the Jeremy Kyle show. They all had bad teeth. Do they not have any sort of dentists around where they live or something? Why is that? Anyway, Oral-B is aware of the perceptions about vibrations and safety concerns, the often high prices or reservations about whether they actually do anything at all. Oral-B is aware of these perceptions, so 6 years ago they decided to try and redesign a toothbrush from the ground up. Now, it doesn't look, there's no point in me taking a photo because it doesn't look much different to any other toothpaste except that it's black. Any other toothbrush except that it's black, and most of them are white, aren't they? Equipped with a linear magnetic drive similar to ones used in Japanese ultra smooth magnetic trains. Oh, I'd love to go on one of those. Have you seen those? The levitation trains. They're not attached to the rails. They levitate on these magnets and they fire, 250, 300 mile an hour? Something like that. Wonderful. They've got a redesigned brush head with 4,000 filaments and a 16-degree angle for removing bacterial biofilm. Yes, one or two of you have got that in your heads, haven't you? What is it? Bacterial biofilm. That sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, doesn't it? And a position sensor that communicates with your phone via Bluetooth for an indication of where the brush is in your mouth. I mean, don't you know? It just seems a little bit like over-engineered to me. Why do you need something on your iPhone telling you where the brush is in your mouth? You can feel the damn thing, can't you? How much? How much, I hear you asking? £499 recommended retail price. There you go. If you're looking for something for me to get for Christmas this year, I'll have one of those, please. Thank you very much. The high price point will put many off buying it, opting for a cheaper electric brush or even a manual, but those are willing to take the plunge. What do you get for your money? Well, the story in the Metro says the brushing experience is certainly impressive. The motor isn't overly powerful, and you see my one, you do feel it brushing, if you see what I mean. I mean, it is a powerful motor. The motor isn't overly powerful. The force feels directed onto the tooth surface. And by the end of the session, your teeth really do have that dentist clean feel. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? You know, when a dentist's done all that work, after he's finished poking around with that rusty now and reading out strange messages to the nurse who's sitting next to you. Yeah, number 32, number 8, number 8, and he's digging around with that rusty now. Then he gets that thing out. Oh, no, first of all, he gets the descaling machine out, and I hate that. Which is some sort of ultrasonic vibrating thing. I hate that. That's the thing that gives me the pain. And he hits it. Oh, God. I have a very good dentist. His name is Mo, NHS dentist. Mo the dentist. Very efficient. He'll hurt you, apologise, but carry on. So he finishes the job on time. He's very good. Very good. And at the end of the day, it's like a second of pain, isn't it? Like, oh, God. Nearly knocked him out last time he did that to me. And then comes the polishing thing. Going round him. As he pushes hard, it changes tone to... Okay, and then you get that coloured water, don't you? Either blue or pink. Hey, I have a little wash out with that and they give you that thing to hold. And you feel fantastic, don't you? And you come down the stairs, or I come down the stairs in the dentist, and I go straight to Greg's for a vegan sausage roll. Honestly, I do. Sometimes even a piece of pizza. And a vegan pasty as well. Very tasty. It says there's several different modes on the brush. Daily clean, sensitive, gum care, intense clean, whitening, super sensitive, tongue clean, which may seem like a lot, but it comes in handy when you've got a sore spot or you're feeling a little fragile. Yeah, you know, sometimes you get inflamed gums and it hurts to brush them, doesn't it? Oral-B suggests replacing the brush head about every 3 months. $13.50 a head. Gosh. Yeah, and those electric brush heads are expensive, aren't they? Usually something like £10 for 4. Well, I do find that expensive, and I seem to get through one every 6 weeks or so. They certainly don't last 3 months on me. They all go sort of a bit flat. You know, and you take that on and put a new one on, you really notice the difference on the new one, don't you? Anyway, so that's it. I mean, £499 on a toothbrush. Would you spend that money on a toothbrush, I wonder? And you should always brush your teeth after certain foods. Definitely chocolate. Huh? Who's having the chocolate? You are. Sweets and stuff like that. Yes. What about a Nando's? Anyone like Nando's? Well, they're doing something brand new in Nando's at the moment. Oh, yes. In the Daily Mirror this morning, Nando's regrets any distress this event caused. A chicken fan got a creepy surprise in his cheeky Nando's order as a deep-fried moth was among the chips. Now, see, I don't understand what people are moaning about here. They're quite happy to eat something, a bird that well, it can't fly, chicken, that can almost fly because it's got wings, but they won't have the moth. Well, I think that's against moths. You know, moths' lives matter. Moths' lives matter. Unless you get them in the house and then you must get them out, otherwise they eat your curtains. Oh, yes, that's what happens. There was a moth in the bed with me the other day. You know, I felt it. I went to bed with this moth. I didn't know it was in there. It was down at the sort of foot level. I got up in the morning. Hello, where's my sheet gone? And there's a fat moth sitting on the end of the bed, looking quite happy with itself. It's outrageous. Not even paying rent. A chicken fan got a creepy surprise. He found a deep-fried moth among the chips. Pictures showed a crispy critter at the bottom of the chip box fried to a perfect crunch, along with the potato snacks. The restaurant chain was forced to apologise, and a Nando's spokesman told the Yorkshire Evening Post that the firm regrets any distress this event caused. And you can just imagine it, can't you? You know, someone won't go up there. This would be me. Excuse me, mate, there's a moth in here. Have you got some more? Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I'll give you more chips. Thank you. I'll walk away. Thank you. Happy. Other people start writing to newspapers. They get the council involved. Oh, what a terrible place. I've got so much anxiety. I must go to my safe space. I can't cope with life anymore because there was a moth in my chips. Oh, God. Why are people like that? The disgusted man from Leeds must have thought his afternoon treat was turning into a bushchucker trial after placing the £80, 80 quid, is that what it is? So I don't go to Nando's. Order on Friday. I know it's quite popular. He was out for some nos with his work friends and opted for the peri-peri flavour for their office lunch. The man who asked to be kept anonymous said he found the crunchy critter at the bottom of the chip box, the hungry group having ordered 5. Well, you see, if that was the case with me, it was at the bottom of the chip box. Well, I would have eaten all the chips and then taken it back and got another load of chips. Wouldn't you? Instead of crying into his dinner. The man said it was a web order of around £80 for our office lunch on Friday. So we went around 12:30 Friday dinner time. After eating the full meal, the deep-fried moth was found at the bottom of one of the chip boxes. We had around 5 boxes of chips between us. Well, the others were probably disappointed they didn't get anything extra. What's he moaning about? You want to go to China and see what they eat there, dear? Little scorpions made out like lollies dipped in something and on a stick. Scorpions on a stick. Tarantulas, the whole lot. You're moaning about a moth? I suppose you had chicken as well. Well, if you eat dead animals, you eat dead animals. Whether it's a moth or a bit of chicken. Makes no difference. Nando's have promised to investigate after the man contacted them on social media. So he did it so everyone could see, you know. Trying to get as much out of the system as possible. A spokesman told the paper that the company was confident this was an isolated incident. What, there's no moths flying around anywhere else then? It could happen again, couldn't it? Oh, so what? A moth in his dinner. What's he moaning about, for Christ's sake, dear? Moan, moan, moan. And we were talking about the pigeons earlier, weren't we? Yeah, that wasn't the only pigeon story I have. There's another one here. This poor old dear. Oh, bless her heart, love. This was a story yesterday. One lady, a woman was left deflated. Well, I doubt very much after what she ate, but there we are. A woman was left deflated after she was slapped with a £150 fine. It's another pigeon story because a pigeon ate a Greggs tuna baguette she dropped. Why didn't she pick it up? This woman, Leonie, said she was given a fine after she dropped a tiny piece of bread, which she dropped by accident and was the size of a pound coin. That's what it says here. Really? She told the Manchester Evening News she sat down to eat her Greg's steak bake with her boyfriend, who ordered a tuna baguette on Monday. Is there a picture of the boyfriend? Oh, no, it's just one of her. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. She's got the lips, the makeup, the hair. You just know that sort of person's trouble, don't you? You know when they've had all the lips and all the face work done, you just know they're going to be trouble. You know the sort. Sitting there thinking like she owns the restaurant. She's 22. She said she finished it and took one bite of her partner's sandwich, which dropped on the floor at the side of her foot in Piccadilly Gardens, Manchester. Incredibly, it's the second time someone's been fined for feeding pigeons some Greggs in Manchester last week. Another lady was visiting her brother when she was caught by enforcement officers. She never dropped that, did she? I know she didn't. I had a bite, then dropped it on the floor at the side of my foot. Ah, there you go. So she dropped it on the floor. What, in a restaurant? Outside in a restaurant? Well, it serves you right for being fined. Too much of this dropping stuff on the floor going on. You even get it round here. Not to the extent as you get it in London, admittedly, or even in Bracknell. But round here, you can be on a little bit of a walk and you find a plastic bottle on the floor. It does my head in. I want to go round and pick them all up. I do. The trouble is, it's all right. Where I live in Bracknell, I do this. If I see something on the ground, I will pick it up and put it in the bin. Right? But then there's a lot of the bins. Whereas here, on my walk to and from Tattershall Bridge, 1 hour either way, no bins. Not one single bin. So you've got, if you found it sort of 20 minutes into your walk, you then got to carry the thing and anything else that you pick up. There was, I suppose, I saw about 8 items of rubbish yesterday. You'd have to pick them all up and carry them all the way back home again. But I would be prepared to do that. In fact, I might take a bag out next time because I can't bear it. I can't bear plastic bottles and stuff left in beautiful areas of countryside where I am situated at this moment chatting to you. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. She said there was no one around me. I bet there wasn't. That's why you dropped it on the ground, isn't it? The pigeons flocked around it, but it was the tiniest bit. It was gone within one peck. It was the end of the baguette. There was no filling in it. Well, I'm sorry, you dropped that onto the floor in a restaurant, well, not inside a restaurant, but outside, on the outside part of a restaurant. Then I'm glad you got nicked. She said then 2 officers approached her and told her she'd seen her feeding the pigeons. Feed the birds, 2pence a bag, 2pence, 2pence, 2pence a bag. That one. I saw Mary Poppins. My friend Adam the plumber took me to see that on my birthday. It was the best birthday, I tell you. First of all, we went to afternoon tea at a posh hotel. I can't remember. It might have been the Oh Christ, what was the name of the hotel now? The Lands. What was it? Was it the Lansdowne? No, it wasn't the Lansdowne. Dorchester. I think it was the Dorchester. Took me for afternoon tea at the Dorchester. A wonderful afternoon. Not only that, then took me to the theatre. I owe him a big birthday present. The trouble is we can't really do it at the moment because nothing's open. One of those things, isn't it? But it's on hold. He's got a rain check. It's all available for him when he wants to do it or when we can do it, more like. And Petula Clark was in it. She was playing the old lady, Feed the Birds. That was back in February, just before all this virus stuff came along. He said, if you don't give you details, it will go to court. I'm just deflated. £150 is a lot of money. Yeah, and it's a lot of aggro having to clean up your rubbish, even whether or not it was picked up by a pigeon. It's not a joke when you get fined this much. I can't really afford this. Well, you seem to be all right there with your lip filler, my darling. You can afford that. You can afford to pay the fine, can't you? There she is, sitting there. I'll show you a picture. You know the sort of girl she is. One moment. Oh, where's my thing? I can just tell. You can just look at certain people and tell them that they're trouble, can't you? You know. And this one's sitting there. Here, look. Here. Let's do a picture of her. There she is. Look, all the makeup's on. All the makeup's there. Look, there it is. Look, all the makeup's there. Look, all the makeup sitting there. The lips. I think she's had. I don't know what's wrong with her eyeshadow or her eyes. She put too much mascara on and her eyes stuck together like that. Don't drop your rubbish everywhere, then you won't get into trouble. And that's it. And talking of virus in the sun this morning, now I don't know if I can even believe this story. This just looks a bit weird to me. And when we've done this, I'll have a look at some of your messages this morning. And we'll do our Super Chat raffle. All right, my loves? Councils could bulldoze homes in the sun and crush cars contaminated with coronavirus to stop a second wave of the deadly bug. Well, surely they don't have to do that. Can't they just spray it? Why would you need to knock down a house? Well, there wouldn't be any houses left. The amount of people that have had this thing, surely not. It says there's special laws which allow councils to take extreme measures. Well, perhaps we're all going to live in tents. That's okay. As long as I've got a comfortable bed from John Lewis with a mattress topper. There are special laws which allow councils to take extreme measures to prevent a sudden spike in cases and deaths relating to the pandemic. This is the weirdest story. Under the Public Health Control of Disease Act 1984, councils will be able to destroy buildings to protect the public. The law states local authorities can make an application to a justice of the peace in the magistrates' court to impose restrictions or requirements to close contaminated premises, close public spaces in the area of the local authority, detain a conveyance or movable structure, disinfect or decontaminate premises, or order that building, conveyance or structure to be destroyed. Oh, not my caravan, darling. No, I've just put a new light in here. This is weird. Factories or aged care homes where coronavirus clusters have broken out could be demolished by the council if they're deemed unsafe. I don't get it. You can just spray it, can't you, with this? There's certain disinfectants, I don't know if we can buy them, like from shops, but stronger, what would you call it, industrial disinfectants. Literally, you just spray it on surfaces, anything on there, dead. Bit like bleach. You put the bleach on something, dead. Virus, bacteria, the lot. So I don't know why you'd have to knock down an entire building. That just don't make sense. A second coronavirus, plus that virus is supposed to die out in an amount of time, isn't it? If it doesn't get on anyone, it dies out in X number of days, doesn't it? Something like that. Well, that's the really weirdest thing, that is. I find that, and then it goes on about all the sort of, instructions. The blooming stories. The trouble with these stories in the paper like that is that there's a little bit of the story, and then it goes on to tell you what you can and can't do again. Like, we haven't seen that before, Can and can'ts all on there. But that's just the weirdest thing. And that's the only part of that story that there is. Then it goes on about the fines you get if you do this, that and the other. I don't know. All a load of rubbish. Right, let's say hello to some of you this morning. A very good morning. John Parrish in the house. Morning, John Parrish. Jason, we've got some photos today as well, boys and girls. I nearly forgot about those. We've got some photos, 15 likes. Let's ask for 23 likes this morning. 23 likes. I have some photos from Denise Andrews. A couple of photos from Denise Andrews to show you. And also a couple of photos from our lovely Sean Pye, who's having a little bit of issues at the moment, aren't you, Sean? So they are available for you to see in exchange for just 23 likes this morning. I'm practically giving that show away, aren't I? 23 likes, all right? Mick Davenport, good morning. Sherry, there's Sherry. Sherry DMP and her cookery channel with smiling face. We like smiling face, Sherry. Good morning to Mandy Davenport. Rachel's here this morning. Good morning, Rachel. Michael Pullman, good morning to you. Andy, morning, Andy. Daniel Holmes. Paul and Lou, nice and early for Paul and Lou this morning. Gosh. Oh, hang on, what have I done there? Gosh, you are early, Paul and Lou. Did someone wet the bed again? Was it you or her? Morning to Michael Pullman. Hello to Diane Jeb there. There's Denise Andrews there, kindly sending in some photos. 20 likes so far, only 3 more, and I'll show you the photos. There's Sean Pye. I would approach the subject of pigeons with an air rifle or seagulls. Morning to Gary Ross. 2 tickets, Gary is there. Hello to you. Morning, Gary. Gavin, good morning, Gavin. Morning to Gavin. What happened to the old Chris? Who's the old Chris? The old Chris? Am I looking younger today then, Gavin? Is that what you're saying? Am I looking younger today? I don't know about that, love. Morning to John Aitken. Parkness, hello to you, sir. Philip Hutchinson, you're new. Hello, welcome along to you. Do you like the lining of your jacket? Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? There we are. These are Ted Baker's. Ted Baker's have got really nice linings in the jacket. All my jackets are a few years old now. I haven't bought anything for some years now. You know, you kind of get to a point and think, right, I've got enough now, and that's it. And you stop. Unless you're one of those people that just keep filling up the wardrobe. Actually, my wardrobe here is quite full. I need to take some stuff home because the stuff, if it's too close together, it starts getting a little bit musty, doesn't it? And you need to air it a little bit. Morning to Maureen. Morning to Maureen this morning. Just texting in there. Thank you, Philip. Very kind of you to say that. And welcome to the show. I think you're new, aren't you, Philip? Welcome along. Whereabouts are you in the world? Morning to Mari Lowe. Morning, Mari. Your fridge magnet is in the post, my darling. Okay. Who else is here? Let's have a little look. Scrolling down there. Is your caravan floor delaminating? Quite possibly. Certainly the one in the hallway is. That I think that's what's happening in the hallway. It's quite possible. It's either delaminating or going rotten. One of the two, which is a bit of a worry. So, ideally, what I really should do is take back the lino and have a look underneath it. The trouble is, it's been sealed. It's been very well put down, and it's been sealed all the way around. And I'll have to get a knife and break. You know that white, I don't know what it's called. That white sticky stuff you put along baths and all that. That's got that all round the sides, sealing it down, and it will of course destroy that. But better now than later, really, isn't it, to do something like that, I suppose. I do need to lift that up, really, and perhaps have a look. Or just get a bloke in, I don't know. There's probably someone on the site who would do that. I'll ask Sylvie, who's queen of all caravans. That might be better. Because I do get into such a state trying to do things myself. You know that. DIY is not my thing. But I mean, I could lift it and just have a look, couldn't I suppose. Just a knife round the edge. I don't know if he's got like these metal things in between the carpet and the liner as well. I don't know how they come up. Really. But it does need to be looked at. Morning to is it Daniel Woodhouse just joining? Says our lovely Fran Green. Morning. Andy is there. Just say hello to Mick Davenport, I think. Jason Hughes. Everyone has a what's that? Everyone has a weight limit. Oh dear. That's what it is. It's only gone since I put the weight on. Since I become fat person, that's it. No need to feed pigeons. They can find their own food. I'm sure they can. I'm sure they can find their own food. It's raining in Dorset. Gosh, really? It's quite nice here this morning. A nylock nut. That sounds right, Parknest. Nylock nut. That's what's on it at the moment, because it would only turn round so far before it kept spinning. So I've got it to the point where I think it's about to spin, and I've just stopped tightening it at that point. I went out yesterday for a little test cycle after my lunch, and I didn't go far, 10 minutes down the road and 10 minutes back, checked the nut, and it still hadn't moved. So might have sorted it like that. And it's, to be honest, it's an old bike. It's about 30 years old, the bike, and no point in spending an awful lot of money on that. Mike Responto, have you installed your new 4G antenna? Didn't you watch the show yesterday, dear? God's sake, Mike Responto. We done all that yesterday, dear. Do pay full. You must keep up. You can't just miss an episode of this. The amount of people that come on here and say, oh, have you done this? Have you done that? That you meant, well, yes, that was 2 shows ago. God's sake, you've got to watch every single episode, dear, or you miss out. You know that, love. We just had a couple of super chats coming, have we? I'll come to those. As soon as we get to those, I'll play you the jingle, all right? There's just quite a few bits and pieces to say hello to people. Shania Steele, head of the Catholic Church on the Isle of Wight, is here. Good morning to you. John Parrish, you should do the lotto. Finding a nut is lucky. Is it really, John? Maybe I will. I don't really do that. Lottery or anything like that. Don't really do anything like that. Sun shining in West Yorkshire this morning. Most spirits send a butterfly, Chris. Spirits send a nut. Oh, Terry, good morning to Terry yesterday, chatting to him on the phone. A chesty cough. No chesty cough. That's fine. It's just, this happens sometimes. Usually I think it's, what's it called? A little bit of hay fever, a little bit of pollen going on there, getting into my chest perhaps. Okay. Let's just go right down here. I think I'll go down to the bottom, actually. Joey Millen, good morning, Joey. Gary Ross, 2 tickets, Ross. Christopher Woodhouse, morning, Christopher. John Parrish, there you go. Couple of super chats coming from John Parrish this morning. There you go. Thank you, John. And I shall give you, in exchange for that, 2 free raffle tickets. Okay, John? And you got the chance to win our little blue hat today. These are actually very well made. Got a label on there. They are very well made, they are. Okay. And as soon as we get to the bottom of the list, I'll do the super chatter raffle this morning. 940 and 941 for you, Mr. John Parrish. There you go, John. There we are, John Parrish. There we go. 941 and 940 for you, John. Okay, there we go. All right, put those in there. I think someone else has done a couple as well, so let's just find those so we can keep up there. Terry Turner, £3.99. Oh, well, have you just had your allowance, Terry? Have you robbed the bank, dear? £4 from Terry Turner. Gosh, nice little tip there. Thank you, Terry. 942 to 945 for you, Terry. Terry Turner. By the way, if you don't win the Super Chatter raffle, don't forget all these tickets go back into the pot for our there we are, for our once a month super draw, which comes on the last day of the month. There you go, Terry. 942 to 945 for you. There you go. And in the pots. Almost ready to do that now as soon as we get to the bottom of the messages. All right, Warp Factor 5, Chris. Yes, in Star Trek. Star Trek is coming. I do hope I see... I don't know if we will or not, but I would love to see not just trips to Mars, but us being able to travel to other stars in my lifetime. That's pushing it a bit, to be honest. Really. It really is. Okay, let's just scroll down a little bit there. Have you noticed when we're in a face mask how smelly your breath is? No, Mike. But I tell you what, it's the hot air that comes back at you because you breathe it out and it comes back on your face, and I don't like that. But it's something we're going to have to get used to, I'm afraid. Visits to dentists cost a fortune. Depends, Denise. If you're going to a private one, yes. I was going to a private one for years, and every time I went, it cost me an arm and a leg. I stopped going there and I joined an NHS one, right? I've been with him 5 years, never found any work to do whatsoever. Ever. Only the checkup money, which is about 18 quid, I think it was. When I was going to that private dentist, I never had a visit to a private dentist that cost me less than about 150, 200 quid. Seriously, I was spending about £800 a year going to that private dentist. You have one x-ray. Oh, that's £40, please. What? Not in the NHS one. No, I go to the NHS one, Denise. Although I know in some areas of the country, it's difficult to find an NHS dentist, isn't it? John's Sonic toothbrush, he only spent 20 quid from Boots, so it's not bad, is it? Rachel, my Crohn's disease is making my teeth fall out as it affects the whole immune system, which is mouth to bottom, so get ulcers as well. All painful ulcers, Rachel. I know what they're like. My heart goes out to you. My little blood condition, sometimes if it gets, well, it has been fine for years now, but when I first had it, my mouth was full of ulcers. Oh, it was awful, awful. But all under control, I'm pleased to say. Yesterday's spiders, today moths. All this and a Chris Reardon fan, get me out of here. Morning to Gary. Morning, Gary. Mick Davenport would have eaten this moth. What did you think so? Hello to LaBelle, your emerald summer of romance, your excellent TikTok videos you've been sending me of someone doing hyacinth bouquet. Very, very funny indeed. Thank you. Right. Angie Walters, good morning to Angie. Still in lockdown. She's in Melbourne. 750 cases every single day in Victoria, which seems to have got out of control, the whole virus in Melbourne in Australia. For some reason, I would imagine it's people just not following the guidelines, really. But, I don't understand. Don't understand that. Let's have a scroll down there. We must keep up. Good morning to Lady Fiona Bug. Morning. Yes, I was told who you were now, Fiona. You see, this was people think it's a clever idea to have good names on YouTube. Strange, very clever and very good names. But unfortunately, you forget who they are. And it's, of course, Fiona who's got the planes and all that business, isn't it? All right, Fiona. Good morning to Fiona. Hello to you, my love. And there's Yin's long-lost cousin. The entire Yin family, and we need to just slightly change the accent so they can understand. Good morning, Yin. How are you today? You are well. Yeah, what you have for dinner? You have prawn cracker. Yeah. £5, that costs £5, please. £4.50, 15 pence then. Thank you very much. Please cut again. Morning to Yin. I have to sort of just change the language a little bit there so that she can understand it. You see how I can go in and out of all these different languages? Multi-languaged I am. Multi-language. So good morning to Fiona. We'll take... not good to ask a lady how old she is. Do you remember the advert for British Airways years ago? A 1970s advert, we'll take more care of you. Do you remember that at all? We'll take more care of you. Fly the flag, ba ba ba. That one. Do you remember that at all or not? It might be a little bit too old. That would be 1970s. I loved that advert. Absolutely loved that ad. If you're with us, when are we back? Monday morning when I'm back home, remind me that and I'll play it to you because I've got that saved on the system, that one. Did I sound like Sherry? Oh, John. It's him, Sherry. It's him. Hello, John Parry. Does she say that SH on the end of your... Oh, Rachel, your post have just delivered 2 Wonka bars because the kids have the golden ticket. A golden ticket, but black teeth. All right, gang, come on then. Let's do this morning's super draw. I really must finish on time today because my nephew's coming. I've got to go round to my nephew's for to get there about 20 to 11 and go and see my Dave. Dave's the name of the bloke. He's got a garden railway he's put together. I can't wait to see it. Right. Ready? Here we go, gang. Here we go. Let's do the drum roll, and we'll see who's won the super chat draw this week. Here we go. Here's your ticket. It's number 939. Ticket number 939. Okay. And the name on the back is, he'll be pleased, Mr. Peter Wright, who's not with us this morning, is he? Peter Wright. There you go. 939 for Peter Wright. I'll put it there and wait for him to claim that prize. Well done, Peter. And they will go into the thing for the super draw at the end of the month. You get 2 chances to win with one of those. All right, but I haven't got that with me at the moment, so there we are. Where's that bit of black card gone? All right, well done, Peter Wright, for the Super Chat raffle. Yeah, we won't have a Super Chat raffle this week because I haven't got a prize with me, and I'm not sure if the other prizes will come. I think you're going to like them. They're probably more of a summer thing than a winter one. There's a clue. The clue is in the question. There's the clue in the question. Okay, shall we do today's raffle tickets as well? Morning to David Fryer. Let's do the raffle tickets nice and early today, and then we'll have another little story or two before we do the bingo, gang. So if you'd like a raffle ticket for Monday's raffle, please speak now. All you've got to do is say, raffle ticket, please. Raffle ticket, please. Okay. All right. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da, 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 da. Right, here we go then. Maureen 336 for young Maureen 336. Thank you, Maureen. Who else wants a raffle ticket? Oh, by the way, have a look at the clock, okay? Just make sure you've got the same time wherever you are as I have, which is 8 minutes to 10, okay? You need to be at that. When we're playing the bingo, you must make sure you're sort of roughly the same, almost exactly the same time as me. Otherwise, when you claim, you might be late. It's quite possible that you're getting the show a little bit too late, or you joined us a bit too late, in which case try closing your browser and reopening it and see if you can join us, and then the clock hopefully will match up. But if you are late for any reason at all when we do the bingo and we've moved on to the next number, then I'm afraid that's just how it is, okay? And you've missed it. All right. Let's go then. Where are we? Michael Pullman, 337. Michael P. Thank you, Michael. Shania Still, 338. Little Shania. Are you working today, Shania? Gavin Bass, 339. Gavin, what did you say by it's the new me this morning? What does that mean? I don't know what you meant by that. 339 for Gavin Bass. Denise Andrews, 340. And we've got the photos to show you as well, of course. We've got the photos to show you as well. We'll do that. Actually, we'll do that after the raffle. Gary Davidson, 341. Michael Lawrence, 342. Andy, 343. Daniel Holmes, 344. David Fryer, 345. Mick Davenport, 346. Scrolling up, my loves. Bum, bum. Where's our little Mick? There he is. There's our Mari, 347. Diane Jeb, 348. Rachel, 349. Jason Hughes, 350. Sean Pye, 351. Joey Millen, 352. Is that it? John Aiken, 353. John Aitken, 353. Did I read out? Joey Millen's 352. Sean Pye, 351. Is that everyone? That might be everyone there. Did we get enough likes to show you the pictures? Of course we did. Oh, no. Only 22. I think I asked for 23. We haven't got enough likes to see the pictures. Oh, dear. Might not be able to do that then. One more like is all it will take to get me to show you the pictures as sent in by the delightful Denise Andrews and Sean Pye. Okay? All right. So one more like and I'll show you the pictures. While you're deciding or not to do that. Oh, here we are. Flight lice, please. Thank you. Ticket, please. 354 for John Parrish. You know, I tell you what. And we have a little laugh at accents and things like that. And of course, as you well know, there's no offence in that at all. Would never want to offend someone like that. It just amazes me how those blooming millennials and liberal lefties are always offended by something like that. Oh my God, that's so racist. That's really offensive. How is that offensive? I just don't get it. Just don't get it while people are moaning for their offence all the time, aren't they? It's a shame. It's a shame that we're starting to lose great programmes off the telly now, like Little Britain. Right at the beginning of the show there, I was telling you, they're now talking about this BBC bloke was talking about removing Rule Britannia and last night, Land of Hope and Glory from last night at the Proms. Well, that's all over then, isn't it? All over then. All over once that happens. 24 likes. Right, okay, gang. Here we go. Here we go. Let's show you these tickets. First of all, Denise Andrews has sent in a lovely couple of photos here. If I can just find the little message from him, because sometimes we have stories with them sometimes as well. Where's my story from our lovely lady? Oh, I can't find it now. How annoying is that? Lisa. Denise, there we are. Photos. Hello, Chris. I keep myself busy crafting, and here are a few pictures of the things I've made. Greetings cards and Christmas wreaths. I think these are the 2 Christmas wreaths I'm about to show you. I always ask just 2 pictures at a time, please. Otherwise, it just gets a little bit elongated and more to deal with. If you just send in 2 pictures at a time, so I've got your other 2 which I'll hold on to. But if anyone's sending any pictures in, and you're always welcome to send in pictures, so please no more than 2 at a time, my loves. All right. And she says, I think I need Peter to do some tidying up. No viruses attached, all scanned, and that's from our lovely Denise. So here's the 2 pictures that Denise, look at that, she makes those. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? Lovely, isn't it? Little baubles, I think they're baubles, aren't they? I like the way they all match there, and that little thing on the left there with little bits like oranges. We've got oranges there. Is it some sort of nuts? Possibly. And are they peppers? The little red things look like peppers to me. Beautiful. And she's done this one as well there. Look at that. Okay. Oh, the scissors there. I hope they're not sharp scissors, Denise. The man on Blue Peter said we always needed an adult. An adult if we were to use sharp scissors. But yeah, that's what she does with herself. Keeps herself busy. So thanks very much for that, Denise. I always think it's a great thing to have a hobby. You must have a hobby. Don't be sitting there with your lives, sitting in front of the telly and playing computer games. You need a hobby, something to keep the brain ticking over. Certainly as most of us are here are getting a little bit older now, aren't we? You know, you need something to keep that brain ticking over. What do? This is it. This is what keeps my brain ticking over. It really does. I don't just sit here and turn up. There's quite a lot involved to bring you a little show in the morning. Remember, gang, I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't want to. You know, it's not like a paid job, is it? See what I mean? It's not a paid job. So this is what keeps me busy, and I enjoy doing this most of the time. Okay, so thanks so much for that, Denise. And Sean Pye has also sent in a couple of pictures. Denise says, thank you. I'll make them to raise money for a cancer ward. Over £400 for cancer ward last year. Excellent. Rachel says they're beautiful. They really are beautiful. They really are. Michael Lawrence says they're fantastic, as does Andy. Mick Davenport likes them. Beautiful. Mandy Davenport. Beautiful. Here's one I made earlier. Yeah, like on Blue Peter there. There we go. Sherry. Now, Sherry DMP, I totally agree with you. You can't say or joke about anything anymore in case you offend someone. And Sherry does actually have that accent. That accent. That you go to other countries, Thailand and places like that, and that's how they talk. Why is that being offensive? I don't get it. There's someone in a university in some sort of focus group has decided that this is all offensive. Oh, Christ, I get fed up with it. That's why we're sitting here. That's why we're sitting here, because we know what's offensive and what not offensive. I know what offensive is, believe me. You know, the way you would shout at something, a certain thing. And in the correct contents, that accent that I did if shouted at Sherry in a certain way would also be considered offensive. Of course it would be, but not how I hope how I've done it. You know, we're just having a little bit of fun here, aren't we? Thank you for coming in there, Sherry. I appreciate you coming in there with that point there after we did that. So we all like that very much there. Okay. Thank you, John. It is Peel's time. You're on the mark today, aren't you, my love? He's on the mark today. Thank you, John. All right. Once again, gang, I would ask you, just before we start the bingo, we've got a couple of minutes here, just make sure that your clock is roughly the same as mine. That's actually a little bit fast, funny enough. It's just gone a minute past 10. So where you are, your clock should say just about a minute past 10. Make sure it says that where you are now. Otherwise, when you claim, you may be behind time. And if that happens, that's just, I'm afraid, how it is, you know. Right, it's happened once or twice before, but not very often, to be honest. 2 more pictures then, sent in by Sean Pye. Now, Sean's got an electric bike now that his dearly departed wife purchased before she left this world. And the bike still arrived, which she didn't know about. And there it is. And it's got a mask on. Yeah, this is the Corona bike. I mean, Sean quite possibly will pick up the coronavirus as he's cycling around, but the bike won't. And he says, you must stay safe. You can see even my bike is wearing a mask. I love it. Thanks very much, Sean. Your stickers are on the way as well. Sean, a lovely bike that is. Electric. Can you see the battery? And you know that bar at the bottom there? Not the crossbar. The one at an angle there. That's where the battery is. Hang on, it'll come round again in a minute. But very good. This is a corona-proof bike. Yeah, look at that. See that black box on top of the bar that goes down at an angle there? That's the battery. Because it's an electric bike. But he wrote me a little email. I'm not quite sure how to take this, to be honest. But he says, hi, Chris. Because he sent us a nice little super chat yesterday, so I'm sending him a couple of stickers there. He says, I'd love a couple of stickers. The bike is doing really well. I go everywhere on it, and touch wood, it's not broken yet. He then goes on to say, I'm still watching your shows. They still make me laugh. I don't know how you can sit there for 2 hours talking a load of shh. Why, I'm not quite sure how to take that. But to be honest, you are funny. He says I talk rubbish for 2 hours. How rude is that? Rude. Thank you, Sean. Jason, behave yourself. No one's going over anyone's knee here. Corona bike. Corona bike. How about this? I don't know what you think about this. Now, in the Daily Mirror this morning, again, it's like the snowflake. I'm sorry, it's like the snowflake culture. I feel it's the snowflake culture. Now, Roman Kemp, I've heard him on the radio. He's very good. Right? And I'm not making light of the fact, but someone's died in his life. Roman Kemp is reportedly taking a break from his Capital FM breakfast show following the death of a close friend. Earlier today, listeners were confused when Roman and his colleagues mysteriously came off air during the live broadcast. It's now been explained, there's three of them involved here. It's now been explained that the trio were informed of some tragic news about someone they used to work with. And then an industry source says Roman and his colleagues are in complete shock. They can't believe someone they were close to is gone. So they cut the show short. They've all been left completely shattered by the upsetting news. And I'm sorry someone's died. I really mean that. I'm sorry someone in your life has died. They've all been left completely shattered by the upsetting news and are taking some time to grieve and digest the tragedy. Well, they just walked off the show or were taken off the show. I don't get it. Now, when I've had people very close to me die in my life, including my mother, I still went to work. Stiff upper lip. We must carry on. Especially if it's a showbiz type thing. And showbiz is anything from, the stage in Broadway to a DJ working in a little pub. It's all showbiz in one form or another. Walked out halfway through the show. All three, not one of them. They can't cope. What made people like this? The fact that they can't cope anymore. Got to take time off for cut fingers and sadly people that have died in their life. I mean, if it's someone they worked with, they may have been very close. It's not like a parent or a grandparent perhaps, which perhaps I could understand a little bit better. But all three of them just suddenly disappearing from the show. Well, I don't understand that at all, Rachel. Rachel said life goes on. That is the snowflake mentality we deal with now. The bloke with the moth, or straight on the Twitter, oh my God, there's a moth in my chips. Take your blooming chips back and get another bag then. Stop moaning. Oh, Christ. Am I being a bit harsh here at all, do you think? Am I being harsh thinking like that? I don't understand why someone has to take time off for this, that and the other. I'm sorry someone's died, but honestly, get on, get off with it, finish your job, then go home and cry. Blimmin' snowflakes. Right, I think it's time for our birthdays today, boys and girls. Let's do the birthdays. Happy birthday, on this Thursday the 6th. Thursday the 6th. It just seems like the other day I said to you, yes, we're at the beginning of the week again. Now we're coming to the end of the week. Happy birthday on this Thursday, the 6th of August, 2022. Angela Warren. One of my favourite Manilow ladies. Angela has met Barry Manilow. She has touched him even. Touched Barry Manilow. Angela Warren today, a little bit younger than me, 56 years old. You lovely lady. I've met you a couple of times at various concerts, and she's always bubbly and happy. She's wonderful. Happy birthday, Angela Warren. Happy birthday to you, darling. Charlotte Cross is a very beautiful young lady. It's her birthday today. Who is she? My nephew's girlfriend, Jimmy's girlfriend. And I've been together for a while now. Charlotte Cross, happy birthday to you. She works in the co-op. Graham Kenny Eads, greetings, Graham. Happy birthday to you, my love. I think you're having a little bit of a do on Friday night, aren't you? Happy birthday to Graham Kenny Eads. Yaser Mohsini is 27 years old today. Happy birthday, Yaser. Alex Akis Nicolo is, doesn't say your age there, but happy birthday to you. And Dave Holt. Dave Holt does radio, and he was really lucky. I think it was earlier in the year, this year or very late last year, one of the two. And he got the opportunity to DJ on BBC Radio 1. And I think he did 2 shows with them, possibly on bank holidays, I think. And that opportunity for someone who's really into radio doesn't come along very often, if ever. There was a competition. He sent in a demo tape, didn't think anything more of it, and then got a phone call or an email from the BBC. Said, how do you fancy coming to do a couple of shows for us on BBC Radio 1? Proud of you, Dave. And I heard those shows, and they were very good. I'm so pleased that you were able to do that. Congratulations, Dave, and a happy birthday to you and everyone else on this Thursday morning. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Twice, coronavirus. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Alrighty, it's bingo time, boys and girls. You got your bingo tickets in the email this morning. Once again, gang, if you know anyone else that might want to join us for our Sunday night bingo session, please let them know about it. Perhaps copy or paste the poster and send it to them as a message, email, perhaps on their Facebook wall or something else. We could do with more people playing the bingo on Sunday night. The software is really good now. It's just the emails that we had a little bit of a problem with, but I think we've sorted that out in the grand scheme of things now. But we're going to play bingo now, just one game, and the prize is an extra raffle ticket for Monday's bingo. Okay, if you have a look at your bingo cards, the game we are playing, I think it says virtual card for Thursday, the 6th of August, 2020, something like that. You know where the thing is. So where's my little bingo jingle? Here it is. Bingo time. And let's bring up the bingo board. There it is, coming up in the bottom left-hand corner there at some point. There it is. There's your numbers. Okay, we only play for a full house. You need to mark off all the numbers on your little bingo card. As soon as you've done that, shout bingo in the chat box, or maybe if you want to text it as well on there. You have 1.5 minutes to scream bingo at me. Bear in mind, when I'm doing a bingo, it takes about 15 to 20 seconds to get to you. When you type your bingo thing, it can take 15 to 20 seconds to get to me. And then when I say we have a claim. That again takes 15 to 20 seconds to get back to you. It's the way the internet works. There's always an inherent sort of delay in there somewhere. All right, so be aware of that. You must shout bingo very, very quickly as soon as you see it. If your clock is running behind mine, that's going to give you a problem. It's now coming up to 12 minutes past 10. Okay, UK time. So wherever you are in the world, about 12 minutes past the hour. If you're on that now, should be okay, as long as your thing's all right. Okie doke. All right, here we go then. Eyes down. Here comes your first number. You gorgeous. Can I just say how gorgeous you're looking this morning, especially you? Absolutely stunning. My tongue's hanging out looking at you today. Ready? First number then. Oh, hang on. I haven't set the game yet. Hang on. Set current game. I haven't set the game. Silly me. There we go. Here's your first number, gang. Eyes down. 4 and 8, 48. 8 and 6, 86. 2 and 7, 27. 1 and 2, 12. If you're wondering what all this is about, I'll tell you at the end of the game if you're new to the show. All right, my loves. All on its own, little number 1. 6 and 1, 61. All the 5s, 55. 2 and 5, 25. 2 and 8, 28. All on its own, little number 6. 2 little ducks, 22. Denise Andrews, head of ducks on this channel. Quack, quack. Top of the shop, blind 90. 2 and 4, 24. 8 and 5, 85. Oh, what have I done there? Sorry, that shouldn't be up there. That's it. 1 and 4, 14. 5 and 7, 57. Wacky, quacky, dacky, quacky. 3 and 5, 35. 7-0, blind 70. 2 and 6, 26. 2-0, blind 20. 7 and 8, 78. 7 and 1, 71. 2 and 3, 23. 5 and 8, 58. All on its own, one little ducky, wacky, quacky, wacky. 2. Number 2. 3 and 7, 37. 3 and 4, 34. 5 and 6, 56. 4 and 5, 45. Morning to Peter Ballywoda. All the 6s, 66. 2 and 1, 21. 4-0, blind 40. 1 and 5, 15. 1 and 7, 17. 3 and 8, 38. 8 and 9, 89. All on its own, number 3. Poor Andy's not having a good time with the numbers, are you, my love? 1 fat Chris, number 8. All on its own, little number 9. 5 and 2, 52. 8 and 2, 82. 6 and 3, 63. All the 7s, 77. 6 and 4, 64. 6 and 8, 68. 6 and 9, 69. 5 and 4, 54. Boris's Den, number 10. 3 and 2, 32. All the 4s, 44. How's it going, everyone? 6 and 5, 65. 3-0, blind 30. 5 and 1, 51. All on its own, little number 4. 1 and 6, sweet 16. 7 and 5, 75. 7 and 2, 72. 6 and 7, 67. 1 and 3, very, very unlucky for some, 13. 6 and 2, 62. 4 and 1, 41. You might win sometime, Peter. You never know. You've just got to keep playing, my darling. Don't get down. All on its own, number 5. 8-0, blind 80. 5 and 3, 53. 8 and 1, 81. Who's going to win? 8 and 3, 83. 7 and 9, 79. It's quite a few of you waiting for a single number, I think, actually. Let's see who's going to win. All the ones, legs 11. Aha, a winner. 5-0, blind 50. We have a winner on 50. Is it you? You have 1 minute and 30 seconds. Where's the blooming clock now? There we are. 1 minute and 30 seconds to shout bingo in the chat box. Bingo in the chat box. All right. Ba 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 da 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 da. Did you see me and the children doing that on my Facebook wall? Chris Reardon UK is my Facebook. All right. Let's do these tickets while I'm sitting there. Come on, there you go. Look at Joe Woodroffe. 20 seconds she shouted bingo. Well, maybe it comes quicker than that then. Well done, Joe. I think you won the other day, didn't you, Joe? You're running away with the bingo, dear. She's on a run. She's on a good run, aren't you, my love? Hang on, let me put those in the raffle ticket thing. Well done, Joe. All right, my love. Nice one. Her winning numbers then are 2, 5, 13, 17, 27, 30, 38, 44. Last number 50, 53, 66, 70, 72, 80 and 83. Nice one, Joe. Well done. Well done, Joe. I must admit, when I first started doing this, I thought it might be a nice thing to sort of have a little bingo thing. I tag it on the end of the show like this and to have a bit of fun. But I wasn't sure if it would work, you know, because there's, apart from the raffle ticket, which gives you an, which I better write out actually, and before I forget, Joe will be sending me letters. Oh, you said I could have a raffle ticket, but you didn't give me one. Well, here it is, Joe. All right, 356, love. Joe Woodroffe. There we are, 356 for you, darling. All right. 356. Make sure you always write down these numbers, my love. And I wasn't sure if it would work, you know, with the prize being basically just another chance to win the raffle, not actually a prize, because we can't just keep endlessly giving away prizes unless we was to find a sponsor with, you know, with what we got here, 33 people this morning. It's not going to happen, is it? You know what I mean? Although we might, the pub is going to, I think Central Station is going to start playing out my quiz on Tuesday nights. I'm not sure if they're going to give us anything for that or not. I said, I'm not really that worried whether or not you do. But, you know, even if it's like, I don't know, 40 quid or 30 quid, something like that, that would help. Do you know what I mean? with the sort of running of things. I'd love to give a little prize out for each show, but then the prize and the postage and the box, and it all adds up. And when you're doing sort of 3 on a Sunday, 1 here, 1 there, and you keep adding to it, you can't just do that endlessly. And I really wasn't sure whether or not a raffle ticket would be of interest to you to sort of play the bingo. But it was explained to me by a couple of people, actually, that it's not always about the prize. It's the fact that you've actually won that gives you the kick. A little bit like gambling, and I hope none of you ever get into sort of big time gambling like you see on some of the documentaries on the telly, when some people get into the most dreadful trouble gambling, don't they, and losing all their money and houses and cars and things like that. But I'm glad that you enjoy it, you know, and it was worth doing. I wasn't sure it would work, but well done, Joe. Lots of people wishing Joe well done there. Okay, fantastic news there for Joe. It's twice she's won this week. I thought so. Twice this week. Someone kept winning the bingo one over 2 weeks, I think it was. Actually, that's happened for a few people, you know, on the Sunday night bingo. Sometimes someone will win and then they seem to keep winning. It's just how it is. It's happened for a couple of people, actually. Roy Brownlow, and more recently either Tony King or Colin Kay. One of them kept winning for over a couple of weeks for some reason. And it's just how it is, you know, one of those things. Binjo, says Peter Palowoda. You're not a degenerate gambler, Peter. I'm sure you're not. Only do the lotto now and then. Yeah, it's something I've never really done the lotto that much, to be honest. I think I did it more when it first started. I kept doing it then. Every week I'd religiously go out and spend £5 on tickets. But I've seen people in, certainly when I was in Cleethorpes, doing a karaoke in Cleethorpes. I came back to this petrol station once and I was standing behind a lad in this dirty old tracksuit. It didn't look like it had been washed for years. And he went in there and bought £30 of those little scratch card things. 30 quid's worth. And I'm thinking, I bet that's his dole money and he's hoping to get a win. And I thought, oh no, you're doing that wrong. Now and again, but I stopped buying them when they went up to £2 or whatever they are now. I stopped buying them. Now and again, I might buy one, and that's about it, Rachel. You know, we don't like to spend out money unnecessarily. Alrighty, that's it for the show today. Thank you so much for joining us. I've had a scream. I hope you've had a scream as well. And I'll see you again tomorrow morning around about 8:45. I might even have a little bit of a video of Martin's wife's husband garden railway that he's built himself. I'm very excited. Off to my nephews now. See you soon. Thanks so much for listening. Bye bye now.